Hey, welcome to Greenlight. So, my name is Jovanni Santos. Today we're talking about new Blu-ray releases this week. I want to quickly give a shout out, real quick to Parasite for winning Best Picture and Best International Feature Film, which is a new title coming off of Best Foreign Film. So this is really a game changer and just a historical moment right now in the film world. We got a couple Blu-rays we're talking about today. One is an Oscar winner, which is a big one today, and it's a Ford versus Ferrari. And then we got another one called Big Love, which is a great film. I'm actually excited to check it out. I just saw the trailer today. It looks really, really cool. It's one of those like love story type of things with action, and it's really sick. And we also have a Criterion Collection film that have come out today. One of my favorite films of last year that won Best Picture for Best Foreign Feature Film, I believe, and that one's called Roma. So stay tuned for that. That's the last film we're going to be talking about today. So let's get started. All right. So as you can see here, right over here, sorry, this is my Instagram account. So please comment in there. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation about Blu-ray releases and Blu-ray movies and what they mean to you. Here in this channel, we talk a lot about like filmmaking stuff. And from where I got my start in learning in filmmaking, it came from these documentaries from DVDs, special editions, and stuff like that. Especially starting from the first Spider-Man movie when it came out on 2-disc DVD. I learned about all the special features that come with 2-disc special edition, and how important it is to see these featurettes for you as a filmmaker just starting out, trying to get an idea of where you want to be on set, as to, even learning everybody's job and how things work out for each project and stuff like that. So this is what we talk about a lot here on this channel. So please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I think I'm talking a lot. My son tends to really jump in there. But please hit the subscribe button. We do videos like this every week. We also do giveaways as well for movie codes. So stay tuned for that. So our first one we're going to talk about right now is, let's get it up here. It's going to be Ford versus Ferrari. It's a 20th Century Fox releasing. Based on a true story. I haven't seen it myself, but Matt Damon, Christian Bale, you can't go wrong with this film. The director of the Wolverine and Logan and Walk the Line and stuff like that. So this is a great movie. They won best sound mixing, I believe, and best editing for a feature film in the Oscars this year. So great film to check out right away. We also have a back end here, and I'm going to give him a shout out too. I'll put in the description below the notes to him for this, and I'll let him know that I used this back end in my episode today, and I really appreciate it. This is what we need here a lot, is the back end of all these Blu-rays and DVDs, so we can check out what to expect in the special features and stuff like that. So right off the bat, I see something already really cool. It's one major featurette. Let's see here. Let's zoom in real quick because it's just one. And there's a lot of versions that have come out of this Blu-ray that's coming out today. So from what I see here, bringing the rivalry to life. An 8-part making of documentary. So 8 parts. It's definitely going to have like a play all option Being that it's 20th Century Fox, owned now by Disney, as you can see, even in the front cover, it had a little like Disney type of thing going on with the red banner in the bottom and kind of like the gold thing going on. It's got a similar cover art and where they have all the information and stuff like that. It's similar to the Blu-rays of Disney. So this bringing the rivalry to life is bringing the rivalry to life. Like it talks a lot about most likely about the pre-production, production, and then the post-production. They may take you through from beginning to end on this feature film, and how they made this feature film. Especially on the stunts, and there could even be some light visual effects that were done that you could see there, especially in editing and sound design, which I'm hoping they go in depth here, because especially since they won an Oscar for it, I'd hope as a filmmaker it's something that you want to check out. So please check this film out and comment down below if you've seen this. If you've seen this documentary and you've seen this film. I'm excited to check it out with my wife and see how this came out. Let's see this. We got another one here. Oh, what happened to this thing? Oh, wow. Okay, so that doesn't... I didn't put anything in there. And then... Okay, so everything's kind of here. Alright. I just made an extra image thing in here on my OBS that I didn't need to do. But it's okay. We're going to put it up right now. This right now is the cover of the steelbook case that you can find at Best Buy for Ford versus Ferrari. And then it's kind of ironic. My son's racing around the table right now as I'm online and stuff. He loves racing cars and everything to do with that. Yesterday we went to Chuck E. Cheese and we were playing the Cars game. And let me open here so you can see the inside of this as well. This is the Best Buy releasing steelbook case. And then what we got right here is the Target exclusive edition. And then when we open it up, this is what the inside, it comes with a little booklet. I think the steelbook case came out really cool, but if you really like the history that this Ford versus Ferrari, where Ford versus Ferrari took place, if you like the history, I think the booklet's going to be something, especially if you enjoy the movie itself. And it's a classic in its own right. So if you want to get these little booklets, this is something great to have for any collector, any film collector, such as myself. And I love these type of things. And I'm getting the next one ready. And I love these type of things that come with it. They always have little tidbits in these books with special features and things that you could learn either about the characters and about the history that this film took place, or most likely even the making of itself. So our next film we're going to move on to It has Brendan Fraser in it. It's a independent international type movie, and it looks really good. It's a crime drama, Line of Descent. Something definitely worth checking out. They have special features here as well. There's Gravitas Ventures releasing. I have talked about them before here on this channel. Let's put the back of it in there. And then we'll zoom in real quick on the special features here. All right, so a classic crime drama narrative in the backdrop of delay. I could be wrong where this is, but it sounds like something maybe in Dubai. I'm not too sure exactly. But let me know in the comments below. And dysfunctional mafia family at war with each other as an undercover officer fights his demons by assisting in their downfall. Wow, okay, so that's pretty interesting. So I guess Brendan Fraser is the undercover officer. But it has bonus features here and deleted scenes. From what I see here. So let's see, visit warehouse. I see the first ones. I think these are mostly bonus. These are just includes bonus deleted scenes. So there's no bonus features. As you can see how like things can get a little wordy sometimes with these special features, and you're not sure what you're getting, but you're just getting bonus deleted scenes. There's nothing, behind the scenes of this, but deleted scenes are great for any writer, director, learning what is necessary to move the story forward, and you can work on that all the way in the script. Beforehand, so that you don't have to like cut them out in the cutting room floor in post-production. So this helps you as a micro-budget filmmaker be a little bit more efficient in where you put your money, especially when you're making a micro-budget film or an independent film. Most independent films, when they have a prominent star like this, they have a certain amount of money, so they have a certain amount of time to get what they need. Sometimes they can get more than what they needed really in the film, and they have deleted scenes like this. But that's great, that it's more chances of getting it right. You never know what scene you think that could get deleted actually might be your best scene in the whole film. All right, so our next one here is a documentary. I could be saying this wrong. Ayahuasca and the Path of Shaman. And then here's the back end here. It's also Gravitas Ventures releasing. As you see here. All right, let's zoom in here and let's read this real quick. North Americans are sick. We have been turning to antidepressants and other substances for help, but these methods have failed us. This is the story of how a plant from Peru has begun the process of true healing for many people. That's awesome. And it's a documentary, something definitely worth checking out. For filmmakers, it's worth checking out any documentary to learn how you can make true things into an actual story and create your first film. I have a documentary coming out. It's my second feature film from footage that I didn't shoot myself, but I created a storyline so people can follow and understand more or less a message that I'm trying to get across on my feature film. This is, like I said, any documentary is good to learn how to get your message across and tell the story in the right way. All right, so our next feature film here, I believe, is also Gravitas Ventures releasing. It's called Blowing Up Right Now. So this is a story of a couple that ends up breaking up during a nuclear strike or something like that. A major explosion happens and they break up or something, and it's a romantic comedy, I believe, like a disaster comedy or something. It says in the back, a millennial couple in a long-term relationship break up amid a nuclear missile crisis in LA. Interesting story, an interesting take. Not sure how bleak this could be, but I'm sure at the end of this movie they'll get to a point where they have to be together, or they realize they have to be together during hard times and good times as well. So this is the back end here. They don't have any special features exactly, and neither does our next couple of them. So we're gonna move on and go through them fairly quick. This one I'm not too sure about here. Hanukkah. I think it's Hanukkah. Let me know in the comments below if I butchered that or not. And let me know what you think of this feature film. It's also out now on Blu-ray, and I'm sure on DVD. I'm sure it's on streaming as well. Our next feature film, it's called Nighthawks. And these don't have any special features that I have found online, but they're worth checking out. That it just came out today. New feature films. This looks more like an independent type film as well as the Hanukkah. I think Hanukkah is like gotta be a documentary. I'm not too sure, but let me know in the comments below if that's right or not. And our next film is Hell on the Border. This was pretty interesting. This had Ron Perlman in there, and it's a Western. It's like I wouldn't say it's like Django Unchained. So it's I think it's more on like because back in the days when Westerns were really popular, Westerns didn't have the right they didn't look at history the way it was truly done in a true story like this. This is based on a true story, and an African American male fighting through all of what he's gone through in those times of I believe the 1800s or something like that, in those Western times, and getting through that. And I think this is he could be like a bounty hunter type of thing. I'm not too sure, but let me know in the comments below. I saw the trailer a while back. And then, but this doesn't, I don't see any special features. It's a Lionsgate releasing. Lionsgate usually has special features sometimes, so let me know in the comments below if it does. I definitely want to know and have a conversation with you about this. Our next feature film is The Wave. Wow, okay. This is a little different for Justin Long. He tends to do a lot of like romantic comedies and comedies in general. This seems like kind of like a crime drama comedy type of thing. So I guess he takes a drug from somebody, and it's called The Wave, and he sees everything kind of wavy, and I guess he jumps in and out of situations and doesn't remember what may have occurred in a certain location or whatever. So let me know in the comments below if you've seen this film and what are your thoughts, and if you bought the Blu-ray, let me know if there's any special features to talk about. I love to hear about like low budget feature films with special features. A lot of things to learn when it comes to like a low budget film showing off their special features, even if it's online. Sony tends to do that a lot now. I had talked about that with a friend in Fox, and he mentioned that Sony keeps releasing their special features on their YouTube channel. So let's have a conversation about that online. Let me know in the comments below. Our next feature film here, as you can see, is After She Wakes. I haven't seen the trailer for this exactly. It doesn't have any special features, but it's definitely a supernatural horror thriller from what it looks like. Looks very creepy with all the hands reaching up to this girl in her bed. Very, very creepy. This is also a Gravitas Ventures releasing. For, like I said, a lot of Gravitas Ventures releasings are usually lower budget films in the spectrum of what Hollywood tends to spend on their feature films, which they tend to spend a lot, especially since now they've jumped a lot on remakes and sequels, as well as anything to do with the book, comic book, anything like that that's already written, has a fan base, because they can actually make a sure bet on how much they make on that. So it's good to have original ideas, I believe, especially in the feature film world. The feature film world deserves and needs new stories to tell. Okay, our next film here, The Great War. This is definitely another true story here. Wow, Ron Perlman's in this as well. Interesting. He used to play Hellboy in I think it was Guillermo del Toro movies. Guillermo del Toro did the first two Hellboys, and so did Ron Perlman. And if you've seen Sons of Anarchy, then you know who he is. Not a huge fan of the show, but I love his acting. I love his work. This is the slipcover, and then now I'm gonna show you the inside of it. We don't have the back end to this as well, but this is what it looks like when you pull out the slipcover. I think the slipcover is very nice. That's why I put it there. I figured it looked really cool. Our next feature film, kind of like an oddball comedy. This one was really strange, stood out a lot. It had like this David Lynchian type thing, kind of quoting the trailer a little bit here, but there's really no way else to explain this. You think you're watching one movie and you get a whole nother. This one is called Greener Grass. Let me know in the comments below. It's an IFC midnight releasing, and usually their midnight releasings are very obscure. So they're obscure type films, really out there, kind of mind-bending. Our next film after this is one that I'm actually very excited to talk about here, because this goes on to everything that we're about on this channel, which is anything to do with techniques and ways on how to create lower budget feature films and how to create films in general. So one thing I'm an advocate of that I always talk about here and want to actually do more videos on, so let me know in the comments below, is sound. So let's put this up here. Our documentary that we're talking about today is Making Waves. This is it won, I believe, Festival de Cannes and a BFI London award or something like that. Like it got into those film festivals. They have Ryan Coogler in here, interviews with Ryan Coogler, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, David Lynch, like we talked about, Ang Lee, Barbra Streisand in here, and so many others, talking about sound and the importance of sound. So I also have the back end here. I'll show the back end as well. This is, I believe, this is also Gravitas Ventures releasing. This is a very good one, very highly recommended on my list here this week. If you don't get FordVFerrari and you're looking for something educational and something that can really teach you about film and filmmaking, this is the most important thing. They said in the trailer I saw of this documentary that sound is 50% of a film, and I believe that is gotta be 100% wrong. Sound is 90% to film. If you start thinking about it as 90% of your film, then you'd understand the importance of it, because you can watch a bad picture on screen, in a big screen or in a small screen, but your sound is impeccable and sounds great. You know that from films like Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity. the sound is phenomenal, and the video is so. It doesn't have to be perfect. But if it's the other way around, if your video is amazing, but your sound isn't, up to the level and up to the par of what these Hollywood feature films are at, or these higher budget feature films, or even a low budget feature film that spend more money on sound mixing and everything like that, it's gonna get it more. They're gonna get more play in theaters, and people are just gonna be more pleased with the film. And if you don't, they're just not even gonna know why they hate your film. I did a micro budget feature film, and I learned heavily from that, and just trying to make the sound work and everything like that. I did my best, and people, responded. But every now and again, there's somebody that complains that the sound isn't, up to par. It's not mixed correctly and everything like that. And that's usually something that a lot of low budget feature films end up having to take hits on, and it has to do with sound. Sound is very, very important, guys. So I want everybody to understand how important this is. So this documentary is something you definitely got to check out, either streaming or wherever you find it, unless you get it on Blu-ray as well. Okay. I'll leave this up there for a second. And now I have another feature film to talk about here. And I also have the back end of this one. And this one's thanks to Bluray Dan for the backing of this film. So this film that I'm talking about is First Love. So it's a young boxer that ends up bumping into this girl and falls in love with her at first sight, and basically just feels the need to protect her. I'm not sure exactly. I kind of forgot what exactly happens to this girl and why she has so much trouble coming behind her, and he's got to fight them off and all this stuff. It's a huge action film, and it's very, very exciting and well done. Takashi Miike's. I feel like I've heard his name before. Let me know in the comments below if you've heard of this filmmaker before. This right here, like I said, courtesy of Bluray Dan, we have the back end here. And this is quite interesting in the way they laid this out, because from what I see here, it doesn't really say any specifics as to what they have. So it just goes in and says bonus features, as we zoom in here. Bonus features, English language available, which is very cool. So for us Americans here, I know Spanish and understand Spanish. So our next film in the Criterion collection is fully in Spanish, and I was able to enjoy it half in, half out with subtitles. And because there's always some words that are different from each country. Since I'm from Cuba, there's certain things from Spain that I know about, and certain words and dialects and stuff like that. And then coming from, Mexico, which our next film that we're going to be talking about today does. This is really good because I don't know any Korean languages or anything like that. So it really helps, and learning about different filmmaking from different cultures is very, very recommended. It's something that it broadens your mind in filmmaking and the rules of filmmaking and how to create stories. So here it says bonus features. So I'm hoping there's an actual bonus feature within here. I'm expecting maybe 10-15 minutes. It could be a little longer, it could be a lot less, but whatever it is, it's definitely going to have some information that is definitely worth checking out for any filmmaker. Whenever you see a lower budget feature film like this, or a foreign feature film like this, excuse me, sorry, had to burp, all the eggs and stuff and the coffee. So basically, this is definitely something to check out, so you can see how everybody, uses the tools of filmmaking. And there's definitely going to be things in there and behind the scenes, maybe behind interviews and stuff like that you can see behind their heads, how they set up lights and everything like that. So perfect bonus feature to check out, no matter how long the length. But let me know in the comments below, and let's talk about that. They also have trailers as well, so probably different trailers. So moving on to our next feature film. This is a Criterion collection, one I'm very excited about and would love to add into my collection. I wasn't too sure because that this was even going to be released on Blu-ray or DVD. It's Roma. Roma from last year won best foreign film, I believe. And they won a bunch of Academy Awards. Last year was the big front runner. It was basically Parasite for Hispanics last year. So I also have the back end for this. I'm gonna walk you through this whole Blu-ray releasing of the Criterion collection. I usually don't do this, so let me know in the comments below if you enjoy hearing about new Criterion collections coming out. They don't come out every week. They come out every now and again. But this one really stood out to me. I really highly enjoyed this film, Roma, and I love Alfonso Cuarón. He's one of my favorite filmmakers out there. So I really, truly appreciate this coming out because it's a Netflix film, which is why I was able to see this film in Spanish with no problem. It's a Netflix film, but because it was a Netflix film, I wasn't too sure that they were even going to have a releasing like this. So this is a Blu-ray release. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going at this part cold because there's special features here. I'm zoomed in here. Let me see if we can read this. It's kind of blurred out a little bit. So there's a 4K digital master of the film, supervised by Alfonso Cuarón, a Dolby Atmos soundtrack, Road to Roma, a new documentary about the making of the film. Yes, sir, that's what we're about here. That's what we want to see, featuring behind-the-scenes footage and interviews with Cuarón. All right. There's snapshots from the set, a new documentary featuring actors and everybody on set, I guess, there, and then they have new documentaries about the film's sound and post-production. Yes, sir, that's what we want. We want to see more of that kind of stuff. Like, these are the types of things that are going to help you kind of egg you on as a filmmaker so you can continue working on your own feature films. So like I said here, this is something we're huge advocates of. I see more documentaries here automatically. New documentary on the film sound. A new documentary about the film's ambitious theatrical campaign. Oh, that's good, because that's great for the business side of things, which is never usually covered, especially not in film school. So don't expect that in film school, them covering business side, unless they change that. I left Los Angeles Film School a while back, back in I believe it was like 2013. I was done with LA Film School, and I had started like in 2009. They did not have a business side of business class, a business side for filmmaking, and now they do. So look into that. If you're looking for a film school or something, make sure they have that, because that's something that is definitely necessary when you want to create not only original feature films or your own feature films, but just knowing how to market yourself within the industry, to be able to make money so you can work your way up, so you're actually not just a starving artist anymore. You're somebody that works in the industry of film and television in any way. So, I mean, look at me. I'm working in a news station, and it feels so humbling just to be a part of film and television in any way. and I enjoy that, and that's something that's definitely gonna inspire you every day. So let's explore more around this beautiful Criterion collection. Blu-ray. We're gonna quickly like look through this. So this is opening it up. This is like I don't know if I guess they call it like a paperback type of thing, but I enjoyed this whenever it can slip out like this. And then wow, very beautiful here with them over here on the beach. And then let's see this next one here. Alright, we got a lot to go through on these. I got a lot of photos for this. So let's do this is inside of it. Wow, that's very nice. And I guess that's the booklet that's laying on top of it, on top of the actual disc, the Blu-ray disc. So everything's on one disc from what it looks like here. And this is the one disc Blu-ray Criterion collection. And then this is the picture right here without. This is the picture here without the DVD in the back, and you see the desert there. And then this is on the other side of that, and you see the photo, them on the beach, and the one over here on the left, the one in the car. Great shot, by the way. The one in the car there. It's just nice. It's very beautifully framed. Car shots are usually hard to get, and they're hard to get a beautifully framed photo. So, and then this, I believe this is the other side of the little booklet that it comes with as well, right here. Okay. And we're gonna put myself back on the camera here. I appreciate everybody checking this out. This was, I know these are a little longer videos and a lot to cover sometimes in these videos. So I'm gonna give a little quick shout out to a dude here that's Adventures of Frank and Tina. Welcome, guys. I'm nowhere near a filmmaker, but I edit and film my own video, and I have figured out that I don't know crap about it. LOL. I have to go back to work, but thanks for the videos. I have been wanting to see that movie anyway. Gave the video a like. I truly appreciate that. Adventures of Frank and Tina. Definitely I'm gonna check out your channel, and yeah, definitely hit the subscribe button so you can see more these type of videos every week that we do. I also put out some Blu-ray collection stuff, movie code giveaways, as well as filmmaking videos. I even do side like Blender 3D stuff here and there. I've got like a couple videos of that, maybe even 4 videos explaining my venture into 3D and stuff like that. So we're going to be seeing more real soon in the future, and hopefully a little behind the scenes video about my documentary within this year. So thank you for giving me a like, and I definitely want to see you here next year. So I mean next week. So I definitely want to see you here next week, not next year. I really enjoy having you on the live chat, but please comment down below Adventures with Frank and Tina. Let me know what film it is we were talking about, because it doesn't give me exactly like a time code as to where this was, and I wasn't looking into it while we were covering. I guess one guy said it was like a class and learning about what to expect on these Blu-rays, because a lot of people don't know. You know, you're buying these Blu-rays and you look at the back and you're reading this, and you have no idea until you pop in the Blu-ray and then you look at the special features and you start playing them all. You don't exactly know what to expect going in. So from my experience for you, this is how you're able to have an expectation before you get into your Blu-ray or purchase the new Ford versus Ferrari. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You can hit me up at any time on the Greenlight Instagram or my personal Instagram, and I'll see you here next week. Okay?